Hey all, my name is Babbles, and welcome back to my Biome Building Challenge, the series where I am given a random biome and I have to build whatever I can think of in that biome with little to no preparation. And today I got my biome from a random biome generator, a randomizer, and I got cold ocean. So this is what I'm looking at. And this might be a bit expected, a bit typical, but I haven't really built very many of these, so I'm going to build a ship. And we'll see how this goes. Like I said, I think I've only built one, maybe two of these, so this will be fun. It'll be a challenge on top of a challenge. So I'm going to start out with some spruce planks, and hello? Please get out of swim mode. I'm just gonna build up a little pillar so I can actually build in the water. And there we go. And now from here, I think I'm just gonna kind of sketch out a length. I'm going to go crazy trying to build in the water. Ugh. This is why most people build on land. Okay, let's see about going about that far out. That way. And I'm not counting. I really should be. But I guess that's part of no planning. Maybe. I'll go a little bit longer. And I guess that pillar doesn't have to be in the center. It just feels like that would be a good marker, you know? Alright. Okay, so this is definitely lopsided, but as I just said, I don't think that pillar necessarily has to be in the center. So I'm going to come on this side and kind of work my way up at a bit of an angle. Let's see, how's that looking? If I take those out, how does that look? Yeah. Guess that's fine. I'm not really thinking about how grand I want this to be. I'm kind of just thinking, let's get the basic shape in and then we'll see. And this, as you can probably tell, is just kind of freeform sketching. And I'm not even looking at a reference photo for this. I really am just going straight in, oops, placing a bunch of random blocks and seeing how I like it. I don't think I like it. Maybe if I take away, oh, not that one. Maybe if I take away some of these structural blocks. I don't think I like this so far. Maybe if I go in like that. Maybe this part just needs to be longer. Maybe come up a bit more. There. I think I like that a bit better. So now let's see about coming to the back. I think I need to make this part quite a bit longer. Because, and I'll be honest, I do not know ship terminology. I do not know what each of the parts of the ship are called, so fair warning on that. But I feel like from what I'm remembering about ships, the front bit is a little longer, maybe a little narrower than the back. Is that the bow of the ship? I don't know. I know starboard, port, bow, those are all words related to ships. But I don't actually know anything else. Let's go from there. How does that look? I think this will definitely be a narrow ship, but I think it'll look like a ship. So I will repeat this on the other side and check back in. Okay, so I have the outline now, and now it's time to fill it in, which I'll be honest, I'm not super looking forward to, but I think I'm going to start by literally just giving it a deck so that I have an idea of where the floor is going to be. And I know I want this to be kind of like a rail a little bit. So yeah, I think that works so far. So I'm just going to go in and fill this in all the way down. So I think I've only built one ship before, and that was as part of my Building Tales series, which I am hoping to get back to at some point. I don't really have the time right now, unfortunately. But for that, I built the ship from the Odyssey. And that was a lot smaller, and the shape was a little bit different because it was based on ancient Greek triremes, and this one isn't really based on anything. But it is nice to build kind of the same thing, but a little bit different, because it gives me a chance to kind of flex some creative muscles. It's kind of like how when you're teaching yourself to draw, or at least when I started teaching myself to draw, I started with faces. And it was really nice to practice faces because every face, while it has the same core parts, they are different. Everyone's noses are going to be different, everyone's eyes are going to be different. And it's nice to have that kind of flexibility inside of stability, if that makes any sense at all. But it can be good to practice new things within a framework. So this is kind of a good learning opportunity, which is always kind of my goal with these series, is to not always be perfect and just show that people can learn, and it's okay to learn, and it's okay to mess up, and it's okay to fail. But this is quite long, so I'm gonna finish filling this in and then come back. I'll be honest, I never really understood why YouTubers would say they'd be right back, because from a viewer perspective, they didn't really go anywhere. Usually the time between clips for the viewer is practically nothing. It just goes from one clip to another. There's no reason to be back. But I just said it myself, and I think I've said it twice this video. It just feels like the right thing to say, because I am going somewhere from my perspective, and I am back. Anyway, I finished the deck, and now it's time to begin the long process of filling out the bottom. And I have Gamma on right now, but I think I'm actually going to just put a couple lanterns down just to be safe. I don't know if I'll be doing anything interior-wise on the ship, but it'll be nice to have some light there just to be safe. So, I think I'm gonna start by just kind of doubling up this outer layer, I think. We'll see how I like that. I think that'll be good for now, and then I can kind of shape it up afterwards once I have the whole thing filled in. And the nice thing about ships is they're somewhat symmetrical, so if something works on one side, I can just repeat it on the other. And I think I want to go in one, if I can put blocks in the right place. There we go. And I think after I finish this layer, I'm actually gonna go from the middle, because once again, not using a reference picture for this, which I probably should, but if I'm remembering correctly, ships kind of, like, they're not like in Minecraft terms, they're not one block and then it just instantly goes up. They kind of are flat, I think, and then they go up. So we're gonna try out just flattening this out a little bit and then going up to meet the rest of it. And we'll try doubling up again, and then I can place and remove blocks to shape as I see fit. And I think there, I'm just gonna go there. And then fill that in. And then I can come in and think, oh, that should be there, and that should be there. Just kind of shape it out a little bit. Like maybe, yeah. Just to kind of give it a bit more shape. How many times can I say shape in this video? Quite a few, it seems. So I think we'll kind of go in a bit. Yeah, that's looking all right. Maybe like that. Yeah. And then straight back. And then just fill it in. And I think I'll do maybe a block there. We'll see what that looks like from the outside in a second. I think I'll do one more kind of doubling up here. And we are in the water again, so I am getting frustrated again. Just do a little bit of doubling up, and then I think we'll go water level for the rest of this. This is a long ship. This is much bigger than the Odyssey build that I did last year. And I now have half a ship. Let's see what this looks like from the outside. Okay, I like the shape of that at the front. This feels a little boxy, so I'm gonna kind of curve it in as much as I can. Feels like I've got a lot of excess blocks here, so just kind of trim. All right, what do I think of that? I think I like it. All right, now to repeat it on the other side. Okay, so that took a while, but what I've got is more or less the same on either side. It's probably not exact, but it's close enough. So now I'm going to turn my attention to the top of the ship. And I do think I want this to be pretty simple, but I kind of want to bring this back bit up a little bit more to give it kind of a ship shape. So how far did I go on that? 3. All right, so from here we will go up a little more, but going in. And then at least one more. And then I'll see how I like the look of it. I think I need to extend this just a bit. How does that look? Okay, I think I like that so far, and then I'm going to do the same at the front. So just going in, doubling it up, tripling it up in some places. I'll worry about that in a bit. Maybe one more, just to blend it in a little easier. And then I think we'll go from here. There. Okay, now how does that look in context? I think I need to get rid of these two. Yeah, that's better. Okay, now I think this definitely needs to be thickened up a bit. It is far too narrow. And then we can go up. Let me get some stairs. See if I can't mess with the shape a bit. There I go, talking about shapes again. Okay. And then maybe like that. There. I think I like that. Maybe we can smooth that out a bit. Yeah. All right. So now I've got the basic shape of the ship. I'm gonna go in and make the sail. So for the sail, I'm gonna keep it pretty simple. I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle. Yeah, I think that's the middle. Yeah, and I do think I want it to be a little more forward. Or maybe I'll do multiple sails. Maybe There'll be one here. Maybe one here, because I do think some ships have multiple sails. So I want this one in the middle to be the tallest. And I'm not really counting. I probably should be, but I'm not really counting. I'm just kind of go with what feels right. I think maybe a little taller. All right. And then a little smaller on these. Now, once again, I am not using any sort of reference photo for these. I really probably should. But I'm just kind of going with the flow. I really want this to be kind of a no planning, no preparation series. And I think looking at a reference picture, while not exactly planning, I kind of want to go without, at least for this one. So I want these two sails to be roughly the same size. It looks like they are. Okay. So now I'm going to go in, I think I'll go right from the top. How does that look? Maybe one more on each end. All right, and then we'll go and make a sail shape. I have made a sail before, but it was on a much smaller scale, once again on that Odyssey ship. Ah! So I do have a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. I wouldn't say I'm an expert sail maker, though. Those are businessmen. Sorry. I want this one to be pretty big because this isn't a large ship, but it's also not very small. So I do want it to be somewhat believable that these sails could move a ship of this size. Let me kind of get an idea for how long I want these to be. I think there. Now I just fill in. Huh. Well, I don't exactly need you. But cool. Hello. I'm gonna get back to my sail. I think that's the first time a wandering trader has spawned in either of my creative mode series. This is something that I would be delighted to find in my Skyblock world, but here it's just kind of, why are you here? Alright, and now I'm going to go back in. And I think for this bottom part, I don't want it to be touching the mast. Mast? Is that a correct ship term? I think it might be. Okay, now we're gonna do a little bit of refining to make it look like it's curved. I'll drop one more on these. Yeah, okay. And then we'll do the same here. Nah, I do want that there. Trickiest part is getting it to match. There we go. And we'll put a little topper on it. Okay, now I will repeat that with the two smaller sails. Okay, so here is our ship so far. I don't know if I'm really done with this yet, but this video is already getting to be pretty long. But we've got our sails and we've got the main ship. I really do think I want to come back and add some more details to this, so let me know if you think I should do a part 2 to this, or if I should just go ahead and move on to the next random biome. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you like, subscribe if you so choose, and let me know what biome you'd like to see me build in next. See y'all!